Just ahead on KOVR 13, a possible murder mystery in San Joaquin County. We're live there with the latest.
And tonight on Judging Amy, a wayward teen considers contracting AIDS to get shelter. See what local homeless teens are doing to get by.
Then a new you in 2002, from scraping away wrinkles to perfect brows, affordable beauty secrets you can't miss. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. As we told you off the top, our top story at 10 o'clock, a possible murder mystery at a San Joaquin County vineyard. This afternoon, 2 migrant workers found a badly decomposed body in a shallow grave in a vineyard on Clements and Fraser Roads just north of Linden. And that's where Gloria Gomez joins us now to bring us details tonight. Gloria?
Jen, the body still remains at this vineyard behind me. Investigators will be out tomorrow to process it. Now, when word got out that a body had been discovered out here, one family was real hopeful that their search had ended. Every time a body is found in San Joaquin County, Kim Vanderheiden hopes the search for her sister Cindy may be over.
This is very close to home. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Cindy Vanderheiden disappeared on November 14th, 1998. That's how long Kim has been searching. Wesley Shermantine was convicted of Cindy's death last year, but refused to tell the family where the body was. So the family continues to search. When she arrives, she gets the bad news.
It's a male.
It's a male, she says. Her face drops in disappointment.
I just want to get her out of the cold. It's just a letdown.
Around 3 this afternoon, 2 migrant workers discovered a badly decomposed body buried in a shallow grave in a vineyard just off Clements Road. Investigators say it's too early to say how long the body has been there or what may have caused this person's death. But officials say this case has been turned over to the homicide unit.
You know what I mean? Not right.
As for Kim, she goes home, knowing the search for Cindy will continue.
I guess I wish it was her. I want to bring her home. Bottom line.
Now, Jen, sheriff's officials will be out here tomorrow investigating the scene. They will also be looking at any missing persons cases that matches the victim. Reporting live in San Joaquin County, I'm Gloria Gomez. Jen, back to you now.
Can't imagine how Kim has lived with this all those years.
For over 3 years, Jen.
Yeah. All right, Gloria, thank you. Well, San Diego police continue to search the area around the home of little Danielle Van Dam, who vanished from her bed Friday night. And now, the focus of the investigation is turned to a neighbor's home, where they seized 2 vehicles and other property. Police have been searching non-stop for little 7-year-old Danielle Van Dam, but as of Tuesday night, she was still missing. Detectives say they have no suspects, but spent all day questioning a man who lives a few doors down. Police took evidence out of his home.
We are talking to him, he is talking to us, but he is not going to jail.
The neighbor told reporters he met Danielle's mother 2 weeks ago and was at the same bar she was the night the child disappeared. Danielle was last seen Friday night when her father put her to bed. Her parents say they discovered she was missing when her mother went to wake the child Saturday morning.
I don't think anyone can describe the feeling that you feel inside when you get up one morning and you go into your daughter's room and she's not there. No words can describe that. There's a hole in my body.
Police say until someone's arrested, everyone is a suspect. The parents say they've taken a lie detector test and are cooperating in every way.
More than anything, we want her back. Forget the investigation.
Has her, just let her
out.
Just let her go. Just let her walk somewhere and let her come home to us. That's all we're asking.
As long as she gets back. That's the only thing that matters to us.
Police say there are more than a dozen registered sex offenders in that surrounding neighborhood.
And while the search for suspects continues in that case, several organizations are trying to help by posting flyers of Danielle's picture. Tonight, the Pauley Class Foundation is posting some 10,000 flyers around Southern California. And here at home, law enforcement agencies have already been alerted. Danielle's case has been flagged as an at-risk case and suspicious. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Department found out about her case through a computer database. The system retrieves information on missing children and wanted people.
Is a teletype system that gives you name, circumstances, date of birth, location of disappearance, and everything that is pertinent to that person's disappearance, so that we as a law enforcement agency can keep an eye out for them.
The Pauley Class Foundation says some 100,000 children under the age of 18 are reported missing. And although most of them are runaways, the most serious cases are non-family abductions. And many runaways end up living a life on the streets.
Tonight, the CBS show Judging Amy featured a wayward teen that went to drastic measures to get help. So how far will local homeless teens go to find shelter and money? Lisa Beatty-Smerrick spoke to some homeless teens, joins us now with more.
That's right, Jen. There are actually many reasons that teens end up on the streets. Now, many have been staying in shelters for women and children, but they're turned away when they reach 13 years of age. Others have run away from violent homes, but often what they find on the streets is far worse and pushes them to extremes just to survive.
I didn't do it for the job, man. I did it for the virus.
In an episode of the show Judging Amy, a homeless teenager purposely contracted the AIDS virus in order to get assisted living and get off the streets. While the scenario is extreme,
I see it every day.
Just ask any teen who's been there and they'll tell you stories of street violence.
My friend last week, he got the side of his face smashed in by some dude in the bushes.
15-year-old Jessica is currently off the streets, staying at the Wind Youth Center, an organization dedicated to changing the grim statistics. According to the Wind Youth Center, approximately 1,500 teenagers live here on the streets of Sacramento. And because of their backgrounds, many are extremely susceptible to being drawn into violent situations. About 50% are escaping violent homes. Nearly a third have been robbed or beaten, and 79% have been sexually abused or assaulted. So it should come as no surprise these children will do just about anything to find safety.
A week ago, there was a girl here, and she faked like she was crazy and stuff, and that she wants to eat people just so she could get into the mental hospital.
We did a little research.
But Sister Marianne Bonpayne, founder of the Wind Youth Center, says pregnancy is a more common ploy.
I don't know if it's conscious or not, but they see other kids, and if you're pregnant, everybody pays a lot of attention to you. They get resources, they get funding, they get medical care.
Something workers here say every child is entitled to.
They still have a sense of hope and joy, and they still want to fall in love. They still want to dream.
Now, if you would like to help make those dreams come true, the Wind Center is always looking for volunteers. You can call 916-487-9494. And if you're wondering about Jessica, she and her twin brother will be united with their mother later this month. And throughout all of this, Jessica has kept up with her schoolwork. She hopes to want to be a nurse someday.
Wow, tough situation, and if they make it out, they're that much stronger.
They are, and a lot of them are really putting forth the effort. They just need some help.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Elsewhere tonight, a robbery spree in Modesto. 3 banks were hit in 35 minutes, and the suspects are still on the loose. Police say this suspect is responsible for 2 separate robberies this morning. First, he tried to rob Bank of the West on J Street. When the cashier said she had no money, he went to a nearby U.S. bank and robbed them instead.
Give me money from the drawer and be quiet. Do not hit any alarms. That type of conversation. No weapons seen at all.
Police are also looking for another man who robbed a different U.S. bank in Modesto around the same time. He's described as African-American, 30 to 40 years old with a medium build. He was last seen wearing a dark beanie and faded jeans. If you have any information on any of the robberies, please call Modesto Police.
And Modesto police are still searching for a would-be home invasion robber who ran out of a house last night after the homeowner shot and killed his partner. Police are looking for 19-year-old Jonathan Alexander Moore, described as an African-American, 5'8", weighing about 140. They say he and another man barged into a house on Debonair Avenue in an attempt to rob the homeowners last night, but the husband grabbed a shotgun and shot one of them. 22-year-old Gerald DeCure was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the homeowner will not face any criminal charges, but when caught, the other robber will be charged with the murder in the death of his accomplice.
Authorities in Stanislaus County have busted one of the largest chop shops in the valley, they say. Now, a chop shop is a place where stolen cars disappear, are broken up into spare parts, and then sold on the black market. An anonymous tip led investigators to a home on Dallas Street in Modesto yesterday. They believe it was the shop headquarters. Officers seized the remains of a dozen cars. In fact, you're looking at some of the impounded evidence. Police also arrested 3 people yesterday, but the suspected ringleader, 22-year-old Joel Gonzalez, is still on the loose. And if you've seen this man, you're asked to call the Stanislaus County Auto Theft Task Force. The number's on your screen, 209-576-6150.
53. If you think it's frustrating and a hassle to install child safety seats, there may be an answer, an easier way. It's called Latch. It's said to be an innovative child restraint system that bypasses the tangle of adult seatbelts. Child safety seats have saved more than 4,000 children since 1975. Yet government officials say 4 out of 5 safety seats are not installed correctly.
Are confused by complicated car seat directions. With Latch, proper installation is a snap. The new Latch system should take the guesswork out of child safety seat installation.
Some new cars already come with Latch, and by September 1st, car makers will be required to install 2 sets of Latch anchors in the rear seats of all cars.
Traffic is moving again on Highway 99 near Fresno after fog-related pileups involving 90 cars killed 2 people and injured more than 20 others earlier today. Fog's being blamed for the 2 separate accidents on Highway 99 south of Fresno near the town of Selma. 90 vehicles, including 6 big rigs, were involved. Officials say visibility at the time was only about 50 feet. Emergency crews set up triage stations along the 5-mile stretch of highway. The identities of the man and the woman who were killed have not been released yet. Let's check with Dave Bender in the Weather Center now.
Want to find out if more fog is expected in the morning, Dave?
Definitely down in the central and southern San Joaquin valleys. In fact, the National Weather Service has already issued again for the overnight hours a dense fog advisory for there, and we could find some patchy areas of dense fog for our Wednesday morning commute here in the Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto areas. Now, what you're looking at here is a picture. It's a visible satellite image at 9 o'clock this morning, which is about the best picture we could get to show you the area of fog, and we'll show it to you right there where the accident did take place down there around Selma, south of Fresno. And again tonight, this fog is starting to reform, so the dense fog advisory has been issued. And again, with the clearing skies across the area, that's really going to help the fog to start to reform in spots. All locations reporting some fog, at least the major reporting stations here in the Central Valley. And as we said, it goes till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, a dense fog advisory for points south of Modesto for the central and southern San Joaquin valleys. So if you're headed southbound, really, really be careful. And tomorrow morning, also be careful in the usual suspect areas around waterways and the places that get those patchy areas of dense fog on a regular basis during the winter here around Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. And also, you noticed on that satellite some cloud cover off to the west. Some changes on the way, and we'll have details on that and more in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Coming up on KOVR 13 tonight, patriotism versus nationwide diversity. Hear why the American flag for the World Trade Center was barred from the Olympics opening ceremony.
Special at 10. If you're looking for a cost-effective way to improve your skin, look no further. In tonight's special assignment, we'll show you how the key to a great complexion could be in your own kitchen. Plus, millions of women use hormone therapy after menopause, but is it really safe? We'll take a look. And a baby boy is found dead in a trash bin. Find out why his mother, a college student, is behind bars. Then, entertainer James Brown is back in the spotlight, this time fighting allegations of sexual harassment. That and more coming up on KOVR 13, the Valley's #1 10 o'clock news.
This program brought to you by Kia Motors.
A former Grant High School student is now in the hospital after she collapsed during a basketball game last night. The college senior Leneni No now attends and plays basketball for Hampton University in Virginia. During last night's game, she asked her coach for a sub because she wasn't feeling well, and during the timeout, she fell to the floor and began shaking and seizing. No was taken to a local hospital where she was kept overnight. Doctors say she was conscious and responsive. No word on what caused this.
For the first time ever, type 2 diabetes is showing up in America's youth. The disease used to only be diagnosed to overweight, middle-aged, and older adults, but now pediatricians say with our growing culture of fast food and supersized drinks, type 2 diabetes is starting to show up in overweight children as young as 11.
This has never been seen before in children until the 1990s. Ever in the history of the world. I can't put too sharp a point on it. This is really a devastating illness.
Health experts say type 2 diabetes is now the biggest health problem facing Americans today, placing it right there with tobacco and high cholesterol as one of our top silent killers. And though millions of women take hormone therapy following menopause, the jury is still out on the full range of benefits and risks from taking female hormones.
In a new report out this week, Northern California researchers found when it comes to the quality of life, the effect of hormone therapy varies. Health editor Dinah Penner reports.
While there's general agreement among medical scientists that therapy with the female hormone estrogen strengthens bones and reduces life-threatening fractures, many other questions relating to this therapy remain unanswered.
We knew that quality of life matters a lot to people, and that's also an important consideration when you decide to take a treatment or not. So from the very beginning, we planned to measure quality of life in all the subjects in this study.
As with 74-year-old Teresa Kevin, all women in the heart and estrogen-progestin replacement study had coronary heart disease.
In November of this year, I had another heart attack. And at that time, I thought it was just a little pressure. It wasn't the same as the first heart attack.
While the study had previously shown no benefit of hormone therapy in reducing the heart attack rate, Dr. Mark Latke of Stanford University School of Medicine and his colleagues found women who entered the study suffering hot flashes and who received hormone therapy enjoyed improved mental health and fewer depressive symptoms compared to those receiving a placebo. A new study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, researchers followed nearly 2,800 women of various racial and ethnic backgrounds for 3 years.
When I went through menopause, I didn't have any particular symptoms that you had. I didn't have the hot flashes. I didn't have any of those symptoms.
Like Teresa Kevin, the large majority of women did not have hot flashes when they entered the study. If these women were assigned to hormone therapy, they were more likely to experience greater decline in physical function and energy and no difference in depressive symptoms. The researchers speculate this might be due to the hormones causing symptoms where previously there were none.
Taking hormone therapy has quite a few side effects. Some of them are beneficial and some of them are detrimental. The biggest detrimental side effects are some breast swelling and tenderness and abnormal bleeding.
Until a large ongoing nationwide study of women's health is complete, the advice is for women to discuss the known pros and cons of hormone therapy with their physician. Diana Penna, KOVR 13 News.
Well, the results from the large Women's Health Initiative study are expected within a few years.
Also tonight, a Nevada City man is accused of posing as a chiropractor and selling a cure for cancer.
This man is not under arrest. Police say they're building a case against him and they're looking for victims. George Franco joins us now from Nevada City to bring us details. George?
Well, Jennifer, from Nevada City to the city of Orange in Southern California, local and state authorities are looking into the alleged practice of chiropractic medicine without a license by Ralph Johnson, who they also say was selling a miracle cure for cancer.
A little black box that has some type of rechargeable battery. We have a charging unit here, have an off and on switch.
It is a little black box Lieutenant David Baxley says is being sold as a miracle cure for cancer.
There's an internet hookup, but we have no idea what it's supposed to do.
But he makes claims that it cures people.
Cures people of terminal cancer, yes, sir.
The little black box is sold for $108 on a Canadian website. It uses electrical currents and ionization to provide some sort of relief. But investigators say 61-year-old Ralph Johnson, who lives in this upscale gated community, is profiting by pushing the black box too far.
He's selling items that are, according to the FDA, not medically approved for any type of such treatment in the United States anyway.
Johnson's Cedar Ridge home and another one in Southern California were recently searched. Black boxes and medical evidence seized.
Everybody wants to be healthy and they're going to use whatever they can to get that way.
So when somebody makes claims like this?
It's horrible.
Tiffany Martin and Rick Lang are mountain residents who want answers about the little black box, as do investigators who are asking others to step forward.
We're soliciting anybody that has seen these boxes, has been prescribed by Mr. Johnson the box, to see if we have any victims out there of this potential fraud.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Department, as well as the state's Department of Consumer Affairs Medical Board, are asking any black box victims to call them at 530-265-1471 as they try to build a case against Mr. Johnson. And even though we were told Mr. Johnson sold these miracle cure black boxes to people who were suffering from cancer, we were not told that they have enough evidence to build a case of fraud and a case of fraud and a case of him representing himself as what he is not, a chiropractor, and enough evidence to take the case to court. We tried to talk to Mr. Johnson tonight, but we're not successful. Reporting live tonight in Nevada City, I'm George Franco. Jennifer, back to you.
We'll see if more victims come forward. George, thank you.
Still ahead on KOVR 13, looking for a way to wipe away those wrinkles or get the perfect eyebrows? We unveil beauty secrets the experts aren't telling you about.
And the flag fight. Find out why the American flag from the World Trade Center is barred from the Olympics opening ceremony.
Hi, it's Dave. We're live here in the KOVR Weather Center. We've got some changes in the weather forecast. Some changes for the better, actually. We need some rain, and I think we got some on the way. There's a look at your allergy report. We're low for trees, low for weeds, low for grass, and low for mold. Your full forecast toward the weekend coming up. Stay with us.
KOVR 13 News, brought to you by the UC Davis Med Center.
Turning now to America's war on terrorism, authorities say they now know the identity of reporter Daniel Pearl's kidnappers, and there is word that Pearl is still alive.
The sources say 3 men have been arrested for sending last week's emails that contained pictures of Pearl. And with this in mind, authorities say they're very close to resolving this case. Also, for the first time, Saudi Arabia is acknowledging that 15 of the 19 hijackers of September 11th were Saudi citizens. Saudi leaders say they're shocked at the men's involvement. Secretary of State Colin Powell says President Bush will decide soon whether the Geneva Convention applies to the prisoners being held in Cuba. He told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee they'll be treated humanely no matter what. Marin County native John Walker Lind was officially indicted today on 10 counts by a federal grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia. The 20-year-old Muslim student is accused of being an al-Qaeda-trained terrorist who conspired against Americans.
With Osama bin Laden, he chose to go to the front lines to fight with the Taliban. In the summer of 2001, John Walker Lind swore allegiance to jihad after being told that Osama bin Laden had sent some 50 people to carry out multiple suicide operations against the United States and Israel.
Lawyers for Walker Lind are asking he be let out of jail until his trial, saying there's no evidence he would flee. A bond hearing is set for tomorrow.
The tattered flag recovered from the World Trade Center will fly over the Winter Olympics, but U.S. athletes won't carry it as planned. The International Olympic Committee rejected the U.S. request. The IOC says many nations suffered from the terrorist attacks, so allowing the U.S. team to carry the flag would not be proper. Instead, it will be raised next to the Olympic flame during Friday night's opening ceremony, serving as the official U.S. flag.
Patriotism was running high at the Empire State Building today. 160 people from 10 countries, including members of the New York Fire and Police Departments, competed in the annual Empire State Building run-up. The race takes competitors up 86 flights of stairs from the lobby to the observation deck. Sponsors donated $2,500 to the police and fire teams in honor of the September 11th victims.
You've got to be in shape to do that.
Oh, no kidding. Just a couple flights.
Yeah, in those enclosed space. Still ahead on KOVR 13, will a new Indian casino be coming to West Sacramento? We'll have more on the debate.
And actors from a popular CBS TV show take a break from filming to help fight a fire in L.A.
KOVR 13 News, brought to you in part by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
A political battle is taking shape in West Sacramento, and it all involves plans for a new Indian casino. The casino and hotel would be located off Reed Avenue and I-80. The Upper Lake Pomo Indians say their casino will benefit the area and promises the city $6 million every year. A large group of residents near the proposed casino say it would lessen their quality of life and would undermine the positive changes in the area. Tomorrow afternoon at the West Sacramento City Hall, several opponents of that casino will gather to rally against the idea.
It looks like former State Insurance Commissioner Chuck Quackenbush won't be facing federal charges for corruption. After an 18-month investigation, prosecutors now say there's not enough evidence to charge him with a crime. Quackenbush was forced to resign in the year 2000 after reports that he was funneling insurance settlement money into his political fund.
Well, chances are you've seen ads for the gubernatorial candidates, but what else do you know about the election that's this March? Ross Blackstone takes a look at what's received far less publicity for that primary.
There may be some things you're not familiar with when you go to vote this March 5th. For one, the states redefined congressional districts. The law requires the change every 10 years to reflect population growth.
So the candidate that you voted for last year may not be your representative anymore, and you may be faced with new candidates and new options this election.
And the Secretary of State's office says we're back to closed primaries again this year. That means voters can only vote for candidates in their party unless they register as independents.
This is the fourth set of new primary rules we've had in 4 primary elections.
You may not have heard much about the propositions on March's ballot either. Prop 40 is for a $2.6 billion bond that would protect water, air, parks, and other natural resources. Proposition 41 is for a voting modernization bond that would give $200 million to counties to replace CHAD ballots. 42 requires the 6% sales tax on gas and diesel fuel be used only for transportation funding. Prop 43 is a technicality that ensures every Californian's vote will be counted in an election. Current law just says they have a right to cast a ballot. 44 increases penalties for automobile and insurance fraud, and Proposition 45 allows voters to petition and extend a legislator's term in office by 4 years.
I think this election is catching a lot of people off guard. This is the first statewide primary that we've ever had in March.
In the past, primaries have been in June. The California Voter Foundation is one of a few nonprofit, nonpartisan organizations that educates voters. Its president says even though many voters are not informed for this election, they don't seem to be misinformed.
I know a lot of campaigns had a slow start because they were trying to gear up over the holiday season.
So now if you've decided you'd like to vote but you haven't yet registered, there's good news. The deadline for registration has been pushed back this year. It's February 19th. In Sacramento, Ross Blackstone, KOVR 13 News.
And if you'd like a nonpartisan perspective on any of the election measures or races, you can go to our webpage, KOVR13.com, and we will jump point you to a couple of sites.
Get this, El Nino might be making a comeback. El Nino is the phenomenon that causes water in the eastern Pacific to get a little warmer than usual, about 2 to 3 degrees above normal. And weather experts say it is happening right now. They predict El Nino could start developing in the coming months, which could mean more rain for us down the road. Let's check with Dave Bender in the Weather Center. Dave, is any rain in the forecast for this week?
Actually, yes, but it's non-El Nino related. But there are some thoughts that you get kind of conjured up in your mind when you think about El Nino and you think about flooding, especially around northern California. But this time around, we've got some pictures down in South America from Lima, Peru. They just got nailed. Mudslides, heavy downpours, torrential flooding all across the Andean country itself. And this all happened Tuesday, late today, and developed this afternoon. So as you can see, real problems down there. Not that we're going to see that type of flooding, but we again have to think about flooding when you start thinking about the words El Nino. Now, what are we looking at? A little storm, a little weather system on the approach. We'll pick up a few clouds from it. As you can see, they're starting to approach northern California, and we will develop some shower activity most likely late Wednesday on into Thursday, and it could even carry on into Friday. Now, your immediate concern is what is it going to be like tomorrow morning for your morning commute around northern California. You will find some patchy areas of dense fog, and temperatures for the most part will be in the 30s. The real dense stuff will be down in the central and southern San Joaquin Valley, so that's where you really got to watch out. So right now, it's not an El Nino concern, but always something to think about, especially in California. Back to you.
So, Dave, is the jury still out on the return of El Nino? Is this a pretty, have they decided on this?
Well, you know, I did some reading on this about a month ago, and that was when they first started to get an inkling that the water temperatures are starting to rise, and they're starting to see that occurrence down in the eastern Pacific. So as it's a cyclical thing, so once they start seeing that indication, they pretty much know that it's going to happen. How big will it be or how strong will it be? That is yet to be determined. But we have the technology now to catch it early on rather than to be caught during the season and say, well, oops, there's an El Nino. We know something's coming.
All right. It brought us lots of rain last time.
Yeah, it sure did.
Dave, thanks.
Well, swallowing a tiny pill doesn't sound very strange, but this one's different. It has a video camera inside, and it's been helping doctors diagnose patients. The video pill works by making a short movie of a patient's digestive tract. It can help doctors diagnose a wide variety of problems, even ulcers. The video pill is pretty costly. It's $2,000 and is generally not covered by insurance. But doctors hope the video pill soon becomes part of mainstream medicine because of what it can do in diagnosing patients.
Can you imagine some of the pictures it took of your Chinese food after your dinner tonight?
Ooh, I shudder to think.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Still to come on KOVR 13. Talk about 9 lives. A cat makes a 350-mile trek home in the snow. Still more at 10. A moisturizer you can whip up in your kitchen. Younger looking skin without the surgery. An Indian culture for shaping eyebrows. It's a brand new year, and we've got some brand new beauty tips. Plus, speaking of makeovers, a network news personality goes under the knife and comes out looking drastically different. And she's about to tie the knot, but first she has to kick the habit. We'll tell you why Liza Minnelli is headed to rehab. Then, a television crew from the CBS series The Guardian lives up to their show's name. That and more coming up on KOVR 13, the Valley's #1 10 o'clock news.
KOVR 13 News, brought to you by Singular.
Back to basics is the theme for many of the beauty breakthroughs of 2002.
That's right. Health editor Diana Penna joining us with some new, fresh ideas to jumpstart your beauty routine. It won't break your budget, and chances are you've got it in your kitchen.
And you got it all right, and it is for guys too, believe it or not, Paul. Well, some of the neat stuff we found includes salon secrets you can actually make at home and a unique face peel. First, we check out an ancient tradition of removing hair that's just now being used by American women. No plucking or waxing involved.
My skin is so sensitive when I get waxing done that I break out into little, white heads and stuff, and I hate the feel of wax on my face. It drives me nuts.
That's why Desiree Lafrac is about to have an ancient method of hair removal on her brows and upper lip.
It's been in our Indian culture for almost 200 to 250 years.
Veela Sheikh went through almost a year of training to be certified in what's known as threading.
It doesn't hurt your skin at all, and it's not irritating. It doesn't leave you with ingrown hairs, and it's cheap.
Cost $7 per upper lip or brow. Watch and listen to what happens when 100% cotton thread is twisted and rolled along the surface of the skin, entwining the hair in the thread, which is then lifted out from the follicle.
It's a little painful, but you can take it.
Veela also uses threading on herself. Here you see her wedding picture from 4 years ago. She says the best benefit, no sagging or stretching of the skin.
I can just tell them by seeing them that you get your eyebrows waxed or you get your face waxed.
Take a look at Desiree's brow before and after the thread.
Oh, I like them a lot.
Moving on to the upper lip, longer hair, by the way, makes for a bit more discomfort. Soothing gel is used afterwards.
Are we done? Yes. Sweet.
A slight redness doesn't last for long, and Desiree, makeup touched up, doesn't have to come back for several weeks.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Alice.
How are you doing?
Doing well.
So we're going to be performing the micro peel today, right?
Yeah.
Moving from facial hair to keeping your face fit. In hopes of maintaining a rosy look to her skin, 55-year-old Ann Haslam of Fair Oaks gets a micro peel every couple of months.
Made my skin younger looking, I think. Cleaner and fresher looking. Makeup stays on better.
Is that comfortable?
It's fine.
The non-surgical procedure actually starts with a specially designed blade that esthetician Allison Carroll uses to scrape away a thin layer of skin.
And I'd like to put you on some of the topical C+.
Step 2 of this 3-part procedure involves using a new generation of products claiming to make your skin look better.
Some of these topical high-potency serums that are available, as well as bleaching creams and other skin resurfacing procedures, when they're put together, you can really have a different skin in as little as 4 to 6 weeks.
In this case, an alpha hydroxy solution is applied. The final step of this skin-saving program is a skin freezing process using dry ice.
How does that feel?
Crushed up and wrapped, it's called cryogenic therapy, where carbon dioxide is also used.
This exfoliates another layer of the epidermis. It calms the skin.
The micropeel is recommended for young and old. Anne wishes she would have started this in her 20s because her skincare regimen, she admits, wasn't the best.
Baked in the sun and soap and water, and that was about it.
30 minutes later, Anne's ready to get on with her day.
The results are seen and felt immediately.
Finally, if you don't want to spend the $100 or so it costs for the peel and products that go with it, how about peeling your own skin treatments at home?
The thing that's really interesting about bananas, it's a high moisture content fruit. So it's going to deliver a lot of moisture to your skin.
A mix of mashed bananas and a little mayo is just one of Laura Dupree's salon secrets she's come up with you can make at home. More than food for thought, it's food for your face.
But I always like to incorporate as many natural ingredients in my own skincare products as possible because people aren't allergic to them.
How about sugar and canola oil for a great glow?
For a small batch, just mix up a couple of teaspoons with sugar. The sugar grains are what's doing the work.
My skin feels very smooth.
Want brighter looking eyes? Forget about cucumbers. Laura says try papaya on your peepers.
Papaya is, has an enzyme in it that is very, very strong and yet not too strong for the face.
A cool spoon will also work magic.
Well, if you don't get enough sleep, right, or if you had some alcohol, went to a party, so what you do is keep spoons in the freezer, and when you wake up in the morning, you can place the spoons as you're laying down right here and actually under the eye on the cheek area, which is where a lot of people get puffy, just for a couple of minutes, and your eyes will instantly tone down as far as the swelling goes.
If brown spots are a problem, this lemon mix may help fade them.
Take a little bit of margarine and mix it with some lemon juice. Quite a bit of lemon juice.
Laura actually did a little test, and you can see which hand is not treated. She says you can even use it on your face for brown spots.
And for more information on all the beauty breakthroughs, just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope here to the station. We're at 2713 KOVR Drive in West Sac, 95605, or please just log on to our website, www.kovr13.com. We'll also get you those home remedies for your face as well. Now, for more information on that threading procedure, you can call Beulah at Henna Moods, the number on your screen, 916-983-0478, and the micro peel at Accent Aesthetics is 916-851-8400. Lots going on in the beauty world, but, you know, just keep it simple. That's kind of the best thing to do. Not too much. Less is more, right?
Who has time to do anything else anymore but keep it simple? Thanks, Diana. Yeah. Well, instead of opening the fridge, talk show host Greta Van Susteren opened her checkbook for her new makeover.
All eyes were on Van Susteren's redone eyes last night in her first TV appearance since her facial transformation. Take a look at this. Here's how she looked before the procedure, all right? And then look at her after the procedure. There she is now on her debut of her Fox News show On the Record. The former CNN legal analyst appeared on Fox's O'Reilly Factor. She told host Bill O'Reilly that she looked into the mirror one day and decided on a whim to get an eye lift. Why not? That story leads us to our question of the day. Earlier we asked if you had the money, would you get a cosmetic procedure? Robin in Carmichael emailed, writing, yes, why not? If you can afford to make yourself look better and feel good about yourself at the same time, I say go for it. Justin in Roseville emailed, no, I believe there are plenty of other more important things that I could spend my money on. Thanks to all of you who responded tonight.
I wonder if she had any idea how much
attention,
publicity that she would be getting from doing this.
You know, I don't think she did it on a whim. I mean, it takes more than a whim to get you into the office and to okay the procedure, because it's a fairly intrusive procedure. It's bloody.
Still to come tonight at 10, Liza Minnelli's kicking the habit. Find out why she's so determined to stay clean.
And we'll give you a sneak peek at preparations for Mardi Gras celebrations in the Big Easy.
This program brought to you by the Department of Health Services.
An Ohio college student is under arrest tonight after reportedly dumping her baby boy in a trash bin. The newborn's body was found wrapped in a blanket in that bin behind the mother's home. The 21-year-old mother has since been arrested. One of her 4 roommates reportedly called police about the incident. The mother is now being held in a local jail, has been charged with involuntary manslaughter, child endangerment, and abuse of a corpse.
3 children were killed in a house fire in Los Angeles today, despite their best efforts from a television crew to save them. A crew from the CBS series The Guardian saw the blaze from their trailers and raced to the house with buckets of water, but they were unable to save the children. A 4-year-old boy and 2 girls, ages 3 and 5, were trapped inside the home. 3 adults were hurt in the fire, but they're expected to be okay. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
Entertainer James Brown is back in the public eye. This time, though, he's singing a different tune. He's defending himself against sexual harassment allegations. Lisa Agbalaya, one of Brown's former employees at his company, James Brown Enterprises, is suing the singer. She claims Brown repeatedly sexually harassed her. and that the West Coast branch of James Brown Enterprises was shut down to punish her for resisting his advances. Brown rejects those claims and says the case is not about sex, it's about money. Aguilera is seeking $1 million for harassment and wrongful termination.
Liza Minnelli has spent the last few weeks in rehab. She says she wants to be clean before her upcoming wedding. Minnelli told Vanity Fair magazine that she is trying to kick a dependence on painkillers and that she spent the last 3 weeks in rehab. Minnelli was taking the pain pills for a hip operation she had in the year 2000. Liza Minnelli will marry producer David Jest on March 16th.
And MTV's getting ready for its February 16th star-studded concert to celebrate Mardi Gras. It will be MTV's first ever broadcast from Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Artists performing for this include rap star Mystical and rock group No Doubt. MTV's Carson Daly and pop singer Britney Spears will host. The Music Network will also offer viewers programs with a New Orleans twist, including special shows like Undercover, Cajun Confessions, and Dismissed.
Dave Bender is going to have the full forecast in 2 minutes. Stick around.
This program brought to you by the SBC Global Network.
Welcome back. It's been nice, but we are waiting for some rain.
We need some rain. We're about 96% of normal. We're behind. We're running a deficit now. And we're going to get at least a chance of it, the first significant chance we've seen in quite a while. So enjoy yesterday's weather, enjoy today's weather, and tomorrow you'll get a chance to enjoy some rather fine weather. At least the temperatures will be again in the upper 50s. But we will start to see cloud cover on the increase with the approach of a weather system that could bring some spritzes to the area right now. 40 degrees in Sacramento under mostly clear skies. Stockton checking in with a 39. We have 45 in Modesto. Marysville at 39 degrees. Humidity 100%, so we are developing some areas of fog out there. Could be patchy and it could be dense for your morning commute. The winds are calm and the barometer 30.24 inches of mercury. At this time of the year, we should be 60 degrees. We are a little below average, but not too bad at 59 for Sacramento. But take a look at this. Rockland at 62, 63 for Penryn, 64 for Lake of the Pines. Nice, toasty area right there, stretching all the way up through Placer County, up there to the higher elevations. Looking good. 53 the afternoon high for Pollock Pines. Low 60s for Groveland, low 60s for Clear Lake. Now, we're going to continue with mostly clear skies for a lot of locations tonight, so we will see the areas of fog redevelop, at least some of the patchy areas around Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. Point south into the central and southern San Joaquin valleys. That's where it could get very dense once again overnight. So if you're headed southbound for any reason, watch out for that. Otherwise, we're going to have the cloud cover increase with this system scooting by. In fact, our weak weather system from earlier today triggered a few high clouds. This is the one that actually could bring in a punch of some rain. We'll have a chance of developing some rain, say, late Wednesday night on into early Thursday, and we'll keep a better chance in the area on Thursday, and we'll get it out of here by Friday, and then we'll be dry for about a day or two. And then the models are divergent. Some models are saying, hey, we may see some showers as we go on into Sunday. Other ones say the ridge is going to build and will stay fairly mild. At this point, we're throwing a raindrop in there just to cover ourselves, but at least Saturday is going to shape up very nicely around Northern California. Let's take a look at your forecast as you get into your Wednesday. Look for areas of morning fog, then increasing cloud cover. Temperatures in the upper 50s, about 57 for Sacramento and Davis. Morning lows in the mid-30s and upper 30s. Into the northern San Joaquin Valley, you have some areas of fog to start, and you'll have increasing cloud cover with highs tomorrow in the mid-50s, morning lows in the mid-30s. On into the Gold Country, not a bad day, increasing cloud cover through the day with highs tomorrow in the low to mid-50s with morning lows in the low to mid-30s. Into the Sierra, the temperatures moderate for morning lows a little bit to about 12 for South Shore with an afternoon high at 47. Some gusty winds out of the southwest with the approach of this system, and again, the cloud cover increases. Now, the northern Sacramento Valley, you'll get a chance of developing some showers late tomorrow on into tomorrow evening, maybe some snowflakes above 4,500 feet, daytime highs with the increasing cloud cover in the mid-50s. Over toward the coast, the northern portions of the forecast area will have a chance of seeing some showers develop, like near Fort Bragg. Otherwise, we'll go increasing cloud cover, cooler temperatures, upper 50s for San Francisco, 60 for San Jose, 62 for Monterey. And there's your 5-day forecast. Again, a chance of some showers off and on through Thursday, continuing on into Friday. And we dried out with a 62 on Saturday, which is pretty nice. And we threw a raindrop on there until we can get these models to actually work it out between themselves. And once they figure it out, we'll tell you that.
You know how those models are, they're temperamental.
I know, they've got to get along.
Cranky at this time of night.
Thanks, Dave. We'll be right back.
This program brought to you by Buick.
A lost cat found his way home after a 6-month journey across state lines.
His name is Skittles. The cat and his owner were vacationing this past summer in Wisconsin. The Skittles ran off. His owner was forced to return home to Minnesota without the kitty. Then, 6 months later, the owner heard scratching at her back door, and lo and behold, it was Skittles. The furry feline traveled over 350 miles to get home, and Skittles is just fine.
I love those stories.
Yeah. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us.
You bet. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.